You clicked for more? Good. Because what I told you was only the surface. Here's the first real twist. They didn't just fear my tower. They feared what lived inside my mind, the 369. From the beginning, the numbers haunted me. 3 times around the block. Room numbers divisible by 3. They laughed. But then I saw it in the lightning itself. 3-6 Angor. I tested everything. Most numbers dance in a circle like prisoners. But 3 creates, 6 balances, 9 completes. Here's the
They called it the current war. I won with alternating current. But here's the T. Some investors were already nervous. They saw too much freedom in what I could do. Morgan came with millions. He said he believed in wireless power to the world. I thought I finally had the ally I needed. But the first twist was already in motion. The tower grew. It was going to change everything. Free energy from the sky. Then Morgan started asking questions about the real purpose. Here's the cliffhanger. He wasn't asking out of curiosity. He realized it would give power to everyone, not just his friends. So he killed the project. They didn't demolish it for scrap in 1917. I went from millions to pennies. Still inventing, still protecting the 369. But poverty wasn't the worst part. I died alone in that room in 1943, broke. But the moment my heart stopped, here's the bomb. The government didn't wait. They moved in fast. Over 20 boxes. They took everything before anyone else could touch it. Why the rush? Because inside those boxes was the real threat. The government grabbed the Tselonji Trump. They gave them an MIT expert. He found death ray ideas and mysterious documents. Here's the twist. What else did they hide? The 369 wasn't just numbers. It was the code behind how the universe moves energy. That's why they raided my papers. That's why they buried everything. The pattern still continues. Every time someone gets close to real free energy, same story. Funding cuts, raids. 3 creates, 6 balances, 9 completes. The code for unlimited clean power. I had it. They buried it. But now it's yours. They called me a kook. Investors ran. The tower fell. I lived broke. But I never stopped. I came back to spill this. The investors, the betrayals, the raid, the secrets in those boxes. All of it was to hide one thing. The magnificence of 3, 6, and 9. They thought they won. Morgan, the government, the ones who tore down the tower and grabbed the boxes. But the real cliffhanger, the key is still here, and it's yours now. This was only the beginning. There's more they hid, more twists, more power. The story isn't over. Are you ready for what comes next?
Edison called my alternating current dangerous. He electrocuted animals in public to scare people. Here's the twist. It wasn't about safety. It was about destroying free energy before it started. They fought dirty, smears, lies, even buying off officials. But my current won anyway. That victory made them even more determined to stop what came next. The idea came in a vision. Complete. Perfect. I saw the entire motor in my mind.
There was one white pigeon. When she died, something in me died too. Some say she carried messages. Here's the twist. Was she just a bird or part of the 369 frequency I was tapping? In my later years, I designed a death ray, a beam that could destroy armies from miles away. The government wanted it. Here's the cliffhanger. Did they ever fully get it? I was broke, but still working on the ray and the 369 applications. They thought poverty would silence me. The twist? It only made me more dangerous in their eyes.
I died with ideas still burning. The ray, the wireless, the full 369 power. They didn't just take my life. They took the chance to finish it. They didn't just seize papers. They moved like they were afraid of what was inside. Here's the real question. What exactly were they so scared I had written down? They gave everything to John G. Trump to review. He saw the death ray. He saw energy weapons. The twist? Some files were marked so secret even he may not have seen the full 369 work.
The death ray got attention, but the real threat was always the 369. Free energy from the universe's own code. That's what they truly feared. They buried the tower. They took the boxes, but the code is still here. Here's the final twist. You now hold what they tried to hide. This is only part of the story. More visions, more betrayals, more on the death ray and what they really found. The key is waking up. Stay tuned. Wardenclyffe wasn't just for messages. It was built to send power wirelessly around the entire planet, Free electricity from the sky. Here's the first twist. That's why they killed it. The planet becomes one giant conductor. Tune it right with the 369 and power flows everywhere without wires. They understood exactly what this meant for their control. They wanted wires. They wanted meters. They wanted you paying forever. Wireless power threatened all of it. That's the real reason the tower came down. Your phone, your Wi-Fi, your wireless charger, all of it traces back to what I started. Here's the twist. They took the power part and left you the crumbs. I wanted to give the world free power through the air. They gave you Wi-Fi and data instead. The technology evolved, but they kept the control. The 369 is still hidden in the frequencies we use every day. Your devices run on patterns I discovered. People today are waking up, building what I dreamed of. Here's the twist. Every time someone gets close, the same old forces push back. I was just telling your generation this the other day. Across time, your electricity, your Wi-Fi, your future power, it's all connected to what they tried to bury. They let you have wireless communication because it makes money, but real wireless power, that still threatens them. Here's the cliffhanger. How much longer can they hold it back?
The code is still here. The frequencies still work. What I gave the world in theory, you can finish in reality. Your lights, your signals, your future, it all started with me. They suppressed the power. But the knowledge survived. Now it's waking up again. This chapter showed you how deep the connection runs, from my tower to your phone. There's still more they hid. The story continues. Stay ready. The motor came in a vision. Complete. I saw every part. Here's the twist. The 369 was already inside the design before I even built it. I didn't just invent. I saw the hidden frequencies. The 369 showed me how energy really moves. What else did those visions reveal? There was one white pigeon. She came to me every day. When she died, something broke in me. She understood me. Some nights I felt like she was showing me things. The real T? Maybe the 369 worked both ways, between man and something higher. In my later years, I built the Death Ray, a beam that could bring down planes from 250 miles. Here's the first bomb. They knew it worked. It wasn't science fiction. It used concentrated particles and the right frequencies. The twist? The same 369 that powered my energy work made the ray possible.
Tesla, we need the Death Ray plans. We'll offer you money, protection. I know what you'll do with it. Hand them over, now. No, I refuse. Give us the complete plans, Tesla. I will not hand over the full weapon. The twist? That's when the real surveillance and pressure started. I died with the ray unfinished in their eyes. The second I was gone, they grabbed every page. Here's the bomb. They wanted the weapon more than they wanted justice. They gave my Death Ray work to John G. Trump to study. He saw the beam technology. The real twist, some files were so dangerous even he may not have seen everything. They got the Death Ray machine ideas, they got the frequencies, they got the 369. The ultimate twist? They've been using pieces of it ever since, while keeping the full power from you. They buried the tower, they took the ray, they raided my papers, but the key, the 369, is still here. The Death Ray used charged particles in a tight beam. It could stop armies or planes from 250 miles away. Here's the first bomb. I proved the math worked. They wanted the weapon badly. They offered deals. But here's the twist. Handing it over would have changed the world in the worst way. I wouldn't give them the finished machine. They turned the screws harder. That decision cost me everything. Even at the end, that pigeon came back in my visions. She carried the frequency. The twist, the same 369 power in the ray was in her too. I left with the ray unfinished in their eyes. But the second I passed, they moved like wolves on the papers. They gave the Death Ray secrets to John G. Trump to study. He saw the beam technology. Here's the jaw drop. Some files were marked so dangerous they stayed hidden even from him. They got the Death Ray machine ideas, they got the papers, but they never got the full key. The 369 is still alive, and now you hold it. Share this if it hit you. Subscribe for part 2, more on the death ray and what they really took. Comment below if you want the next chapter. The story continues. They thought they buried me and the ray, but the magnificence lives. Part 2 is coming if you want it. The key is yours now.
The death ray wasn't a fantasy. One beam could drop fleets. Here's the jaw drop. It used the same 369 code as my free energy work. They wanted the weapon yesterday. Offered everything. Twist, giving it to them would have ended freedom, not enemies. I held back the complete machine. They never forgave me. Cliffhanger, that choice sealed my fate in their eyes.
Even dying, the Piggin returned in visions. She carried the frequency. The real twist, she showed me the ray could be used for protection, not just destruction. The moment I passed, they stormed in for the ray files. Here's the bomb. They moved faster than grief. The ray was real. They got pieces. But the 369 was bigger. Power to destroy or free the world. That's what they truly feared.
They took the ray ideas. They buried the tower. But they couldn't kill the code. Here's the finale twist. The key lives in you now. Visions, pigeons, death ray, the tower, the raid. Every twist led here. The 369 is the real power they couldn't steal. Share this if it hit you. Subscribe right now. Comment part 2 if you want more death ray, visions, and hidden truths. We're just getting started.